What's up YouTube, welcome to another video, and today's video will be regarding the TCL 10 series. TCL has announced three new devices, the TCL 10 Pro, TCL 5G and TCL 10L. Originally it was unveiled in January. Now the TCL has unveiled the full specification of its TCL 10 series. Interestingly, the series is also coming with a 5G model as well, and in this video let's talk about all these three devices and their specification, what they are getting inside. Starting from the TCL 10 Pro series, this is the only device which is coming with an AMOLED display on the front side, and that display is of 6.47 inch of a screen with 1080p plus resolution, and water drop notch is also present on the front. HDR10 is also supported, and also we will see a Netflix certified display on the front side. One of the interesting thing that it is also coming with the next variant chip which will enhance the HDR video to HDR video by tone mapping. Also the device is curved around the edges and small chin on the bottom of the device, whereas the teardrop notch is coming with a 24 megapixel of a selfie camera on the front side, and in-display fingerprint reader is also embedded below the display panel. Moving on the back side, we have a quad camera setup in horizontal shape with dual LED flashlight on the edges of the camera bump. The main camera is of 64 megapixel which is using Samsung GW1 sensor, and the sensor is working on 16 megapixel 4x1 pixel binning techniques. Next is 16 megapixel of ultra wide camera, and it can shoot at a 123 degree of wide angle shot, followed by a 5 megapixel of low light sensor, and finally a 2 megapixel depth sensor camera on the back side. Main camera can also record a 4K video in 30 frames per second. Internally, the device is powered by a Snapdragon 675 chipset with a GPU support of Adreno 612. Memory-wise, the device is coming with a 6GB RAM and 128GB of internal storage, and it is also supported by micro SD card of up to 256GB. Battery-wise, the device is powered by a 4500 mAh and supports an 18 watt of quick charge 3.0. TCL Pro will be coming in a Q2 of this year at a price tag of $450. Moving on towards the TCL 10 5G, it is coming with a small changes in terms of design and internals. Snapdragon 765 chipset is present, which is obviously supported by 5G, and it is even more powerful than the TCL 10 Pro chipset. It has a similar 6GB of RAM and 128GB of internal storage, and it is also supported by micro SD card of up to 256GB. Battery wise, it is coming with the same capacity of 4500 mAh and 18 watt of quick charge 3.0. Also, it has the same 64 megapixel camera sensor, but instead of 16 megapixel of selfie camera, it is coming with an 8 megapixel of ultra wide camera on the front side, and it gets a 5 megapixel of a macro lens instead of the night cam, and a 2 megapixel of depth sensor camera, which means that the TCL 10 5G is going to be seen with a quad camera setup. Another change is on the fingerprint scanner on the front side. We will now see a physical fingerprint scanner on the back side. This is due to because that it is coming with a screen of 6.5 inch of LCD display with a punch hole camera cutout present on the top of the device, and that camera sensor is coming with a 16 megapixel of a selfie camera. Also, it is coming with a 1080p plus resolution of 19.5 by 9 of aspect ratio and an HDR10 support too. TCL 5G cost around 400 euros, and its release date has not yet been announced from TCL. Lastly is the TCL 12. Well, it has a same front as the TCL 5G with same 16 megapixel of a camera on the punch hole display. Back is also similar and has the same wide angle lens as we see in the TCL 5G. Whereas the physical fingerprint scanner is also seen on the back side, whereas the other main camera is going to be 48 megapixel, 2 megapixel macro lens, and the same depth sensor camera as we see in TCL 5G. Speaking of internals, it is coming with a Snapdragon 665 chipset with two different variants of storage. It is coming with a 6GB and 64GB internal storage and 6GB and 128GB of internal storage. Also, that device is supported by micro SD card. The phone is powered by a 4000 mAh of a battery, and it is not coming with a fast charging support inside. Price wise, the TCL 10 will be around $250. All the TCL devices are coming with the next VN chip which will enhance the SDR video to HDR video by tone mapping. All the three devices are coming with a super Bluetooth inside which has the ability to connect 4 different speakers at the same time, and that is going to be a kind of a new feature inside the mobile devices. if we compare with all the other Android phones. All these devices which are released in TCL 10 series are kind of a mid-range devices. We can't say that these are going to be a flagship killer. There is only one device which have impressed me is the TCL 10 5G, which is coming with a decent processor inside and have a nice price tag. So guys, that is it in this particular video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and I'll meet you in the next one. Peace out.